Good morning, thanks for joining us. Every year, my wife and I used to make the journey or pilgrimage to Cornwall. We'd rent a house for a week, always the same house. It had 70s furniture and a cooker which dated to the Neolithic period. It did have a colour TV, the colour in question being green. It could only produce pictures in various shades of green. I was told the problem was a shortage of replacement valves. To my knowledge, it had been that way for 7 years. But we didn't watch too much television down there, not even the news. While we were in Cornwall, it was a matter of supreme indifference if Prince Charles was abducted by aliens, or if whatever politician had finally been caught telling the truth, or if the pound had dropped to 3.4 against the Matabele gumbo bead. And we certainly didn't care who won X Factor. But then, I never did. Any self-respecting cave dweller would turn up his nose at that holiday home, and yet it could be difficult to get a booking. So why are people queuing up to get into Cornwall's answer to the black hole of Calcutta? Because it's got its own lake. The lake has fish, and we like catching fish, though they rarely cooperate. But even that is not the main attraction. The lake is among the most beautiful places I have ever seen. True, it doesn't have the fierce brilliance of a coral atoll, nor yet the awesome splendour of snow-tipped peaks. It's that serene, even understated beauty peculiar to these isles which draws the heart. It is the British countryside at its best in the warm glow of summer. The sunlight dappled water, the lilies resting on their pads, the lazy sweep of the willow as it caresses the lake in a gentle breeze. There is lush greenery, broken only by the colour of wild flowers, some pale and demure, others proclaiming themselves boldly in deep yellows, reds and purples. There are dragonflies and damselflies, the marriage of breathtaking beauty and utter fragility in living form. And there is wildlife, swooping herons, soaring birds of prey, and rabbits emerging from the long grass, blinking in the sunshine. Carp celebrate the warmth, rolling gently on the surface, or sometimes joyously leaping out altogether before falling back with a splash. There is the fragrance of high summer and the sounds, the moorhens call, the high-pitched crickets and the contented hum of bees about their work. The words of Shakespeare's John of Gaunt come unbidden to mind. This other Eden, demi-paradise. The capacity to appreciate the beauty of creation is not something which has evolved. There would be no reason for it, any more than there would be a reason to evolve an appreciation of music or of humour. And what about developing a conscience? Surely a major handicap to the survival of the fittest. But our delight and wonderment at nature has indeed a purpose. The book of Romans tells us what that is. It says, "For since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that men are without excuse." Or as Psalms puts it, the heavens declare the glory of God, the skies proclaim the work of his hands. Our ability to enjoy the beauty of this world is indeed a God-given facility. That ability and that beauty are intended as a clear demonstration of intelligent design. Judging by what it says in Romans, that message can only be missed deliberately. But for any who are missing it, I have to tell you that natural beauty is even more overwhelming when seen for what it is, the work of a loving master craftsman. That being so, I found myself unable to enjoy the splendour of the lake without also enjoying praising its creator. My appreciation of its beauty cannot be separated from my appreciation of the one who made it. The human race has engaged in a sustained and increasingly violent assault on nature since the start of the Industrial Revolution. We may be amazed by the planet's resilience despite our apparent determination to push it to the limit. But we have not totally eradicated natural beauty, and due to the current crisis, it's even making a comeback in some areas. Nature is flourishing, fed by cleaner air and cleaner rivers. And I wonder if this crisis will finally help us to learn to appreciate the work of that loving master craftsman. Or if we'll just go back to business as usual when this is all over. God bless and stay safe.
Name above all other names, Lord over all our creation, worthy of power and praise, blessing and honor and glory are his eternal reward. Let every knee bow before him and every tongue say he is Lord. Exalted and glorified, Jesus, name above all names, will lift you high. Eternally God, emptied yourself, came as nothing, choosing the road to the cross. Lord, you were found in our likeness, shedding your glory to serve, humble, not claiming advantage. You laid down your life for the world. Serve as you serve, filled with your spirit, your fullness, the fragrance of grace on